Perfect. And you know what I'm learning as I go, that I have to do like one of those big things before, just so that I can actually line it up, or else I spend like forever trying to do that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm learning as I go. But welcome to episode 6 of the Just Ask podcast. Really excited to have Ryan with me today. Ryan Kitchen, father, coach, speaker. It's been incredible since I've known you, and I'm not sure how close that was to the beginning of your journey and what I've seen on Instagram. But it's been really cool to see your journey. I guess that would have been like since the first kickback that we did
Yeah, so
around that.
maybe
A little
maybe
year and
like
a
a
half.
year and a half ago,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Which is when I started to, I've been in the addictions counseling game and working in an inpatient treatment facility for 7 years, but I've really just been doing the coaching for like the last year and a half. So when I started my Instagram and all that, it's pretty much when we met each other and got into that.
that's cool. That's amazing. That means like I've seen like the whole journey so far. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's really cool. I was wondering about that. I was wondering because sometimes you meet somebody and like that moment, like that's how you see them. You see them as and then down the road sometimes you find out that that was like their very beginning, and it's like, wow, holy, you had it together when you started. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Well, the
That's
first
awesome.
when I did kickback with you guys, that was the first time that I'd actually done any type of live TV or anything like that. But
Right.
telling my story, I mean, doing what I was doing on the program with you, I've been doing that for a long time, right? So
Right.
it's cool to be 32 and a lot of this stuff coming naturally for me just because everything in my life really shifted when I was in like my mid 20s.
Right, right. And how important is storytelling for your messaging? And do you want to share a little bit about what you're speaking about?
Yeah, so a lot of what I'm talking about, I mean, all of this was born from sobriety, right? And so when
Mhm.
I was 23 is when I got sober. Always struggled with a lot of anxiety, a lot of panic, and along with that came my alcoholism. So when I got
Mhm.
sober, I was about a year sober when I went to school and decided, I'm gonna try to make a career out of this, and I'm gonna work with other people and give back what I've experienced. So with storytelling, I mean, the cool thing about, when you're in misery, when you're in suffering, it doesn't seem like, you're not thinking, man, this is going to be a great story, right? Because you're not thinking
Right.
about the other side of that. But when you get to the other side of that, when you get to a place where you're successful in your life, your struggle and you're struggling how far down you were, and then your success getting out of that is like one of your greatest assets. So with a lot of people that I'm working with or that I'm talking to or sharing with, I have the opportunity of being like, yeah, man, I've been there. I've been through that. Here's what I did. Here's where I struggled. And a lot with my coaching and just like the blogging and the videos that I make, I'm sharing everyday stuff, right? Like I had a
Right.
panic attack. What's today? Thursday. I had like a horrible panic attack on Saturday. And it was
Mhm.
just like, you know what I mean? So it's life. Like I continuously go through these things. And in the moment, you don't think, man, this is good. But the
Mhm.
reality of it is what really drives me is to support others in the same situations. And it makes me super approachable by being so transparent about the struggles that I deal with on a daily basis.
Right, exactly. Because people, it's no longer that's the stigmas that it revolve around anything to do with mental illness. All of a sudden, it's like, no, that's real. And he's dealing with that, and that's something that, you know what, if he's able to be open about it and speak to like all of Instagram and anybody that'll listen, then I can be open with a friend or a family member or even yourself, right? Because I know you've had a handful of people reach out to you and say like thank you for sharing, and I'm sure some of them have become clients of yours too, which is really cool that you're able to make that work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, with the day and age that we're in, I know everybody likes to, crap all over social media, but I think it's amazing. I'm seeing
Hmm.
people share their struggles. I'm seeing people do what you do, everything you guys have done with the programs and all that. And it's like, man, this is awesome. I can share that I'm successfully raising two daughters, maintaining a
Right.
relationship, maintaining a career, working a coaching business on the side, all while maintaining sobriety and all while managing my mental health issues and the challenges that I experience on a day-to-day basis. Like 15, 20 years ago, when you saw someone successful on TV and stuff like that, typically you don't hear everything that went into that and the struggles that that person is going through.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You either see, I remember it was like, 2007 with Britney Spears. You either see the total collapse or you see complete success. So when Britney
Right.
Spears bounces back, nobody wants to hear that story. So now with
Right.
like our Instagram and our Facebook and all this stuff, we can share like, this is how I'm grinding on a daily basis. This is how I'm getting it. And this is how I'm, able to be successful while also managing my challenges.
Right. And were you always comfortable as a speaker, like whether it be like in front of the room or like when you pull up the camera and you're doing your daily post? Like were
Honest,
you always comfortable with that?
man,
Or are you
honest,
comfortable with that?
you know what? I get into this place with it where I'm in like the flow state. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where I'm just in the zone. The really bizarre thing is my anxiety it's like agoraphobic and social based, right? So it's
Hmm.
people that make me panic. So I remember like in high school when I would have to do a presentation, 16, 17, I would drink before I would go to those presentations to take the
Hmm.
edge off.
Right.
And so, no, I wasn't. And it was very bizarre to be like 6 months, a year sober and start to find out like, wow, I can actually talk to people. I can actually communicate well with people and have these conversations. So, I mean, anytime I speak, anytime I do live TV or anything like that, I'm usually nervous.
Right.
Um, but I'm totally cool with just saying that. I'm totally cool with the fact that, so if I get up in front of 500 people and I'm having a panic attack, I will start
Right.
with that. Yeah, I
Right.
will. I will introduce myself and I will say, I'm having a panic attack right now. Totally cool with it. And
Right.
usually you get like laughs and nods, right? Because people, it's like breaking through the idea of needing to be cool, needing to present myself as something, cutting through all the bullshit and just being real and being genuine and saying
Right.
like, this is me. And when I'm able to do that, um, I don't think it's gotten easier over the years when I speak, but
Mhm.
with anxiety, I always think of anxiety like this. So people pay a lot of money to go to like Canada's Wonderland and theme parks, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
basically what they're paying for is anxiety. They're paying for fear. They're paying for that adrenaline. So when I
Right.
think about the stuff that I do, if I get excited, it's like, man, I'm living. You know what I mean? I don't know
Mm.
how many lives I'm going to get. I don't know if reincarnation's a thing or what. So this might be my
Right.
only life. And I just get up there and I try to embrace it and I always face it. I won't back down. Like I'm not going to allow my panic to drive me in a corner like it did when I was younger.
Right. And the fact that you lead with that and you say, you know what, I am feeling anxious or I'm having a panic attack at this point. Just being open with that and letting people know that, hey, like I feel this, it kind of opens that, it kind of pulls the curtain back and says, you know what, maybe as a viewer, maybe, hey, this is something that I can do. I could be up on that stage. It kind of takes
Yeah.
that little that factor away.
Yeah, and when I'm doing these videos, I remember the first video I made. So I'm like, at that point, like I sit in my car and I make these videos, right?
Right.
And I just remember thinking, like, man, a lot of people might just totally rip on you and make fun of you for this. And I very well may be the butt end of some jokes based on some of the videos I've put out there. But it was just like there was something in me, there was some sort of passion that I just said, let her rip, man, like do it. And the response was amazing. I mean, my coaching business wasn't a planned thing. I was having
Mhm.
people reach out to me and say, listen, I'll pay you to work with me. And for the amount of volume and like having a family at home and then my career during the day, I was like, all right, let's do this. And I've worked with some amazing people. I have clients who I've had since day one. Like the guy who originally came to me and said, I'll pay you to work with me. Him and I have been doing a weekly call for over a year now.
That's
And
incredible.
yeah, man, it's crazy. So there's this, whenever I speak, whenever I make a video, like typically with my videos, obviously I have a general idea about what I'm going to talk about. But it's the same thing with, you asking me if I read over the questions that you sent me about this podcast. And I
Right.
said I didn't, right? Because I
Yeah.
never my one of my gifts, I believe, or my ticket or whatever you want to call it, is like my passion. So I show up and
Hmm.
do a talk, and it's like if it's 45 minutes, if it's an hour, if it's 2 hours, um, I'll just make it work, and I'll be, I have to come from that passionate place, or it's just not a good talk to me, and I can't see myself planning it. Maybe sometime down the line, if I ever did like a 10-minute or a 15-minute type of deal like they do on TED Talks, I'd
Right.
come up with some clear platform. But right now it's just show up and let her rip in a passionate way, and it's worked really, really well for me.
Well, that's amazing. Well, you know what? I have to say that you're like hitting all of the questions that I
Am
kind
I?
of like.
Yeah,
I have like the blueprint for what I want to talk about and where I want
yeah,
to go, and you're just like nailing them all. So this is fantastic. And like preparation and the research was one, and it's kind of how much research do you do versus how much. I don't know if it's preparation versus passion, but
yeah,
I know a lot of people can just show up and because they know the topic and they love the topic and eat, sleep, everything to do with this topic, they can just okay show up. Hey, okay, well, what are we talking about? Okay, here we go, and there they can fill all this time.
yeah.
And you definitely be in that boat.
Yeah, and with preparation, like I did a talk at a college a couple weeks ago, and so the teacher reached out to me and said, hey, I saw your stuff. Like, most of my business has been local to Ontario, and it's been through word of mouth. Like, it's not even through my page and that. Typically, someone will say, "Have you heard of this guy?" and then they'll go check my stuff out. So I had a teacher reach out to me a little while ago, and I did a talk a few weeks ago, and it was for a group of students that were in like a second career type of deal. So what I did for preparation is I just kind of asked her, what do your students want? What do they want?
Right.
And so when I think of that, I start to think of when I showed up there, even, and when I did my talk there, that's what I started with. Is I just very simply asked them, like, what do you guys want? Tell me what you want, because if I'm going to be spending an hour with you or 2 hours with you or however long with you, I want to make sure that you're getting some sort of value out of this, right? So even though I
Right.
relate a lot of it to my experience, when I'm speaking to you, this isn't about me. This is about me supporting you or helping you or motivating you, inspiring you. And so usually that's all the research I need, is just asking people what they want. And when you ask people what they want and you kind of say why, then you start to get down to like the motivating factors and where you can connect with people, right?
Right. Right. That's amazing. That's amazing, Ryan, that you're able to do that. And I love the fact that you're using your past experiences, I mean, to drive you, but also to inspire and empower others that are currently going through what you have been through or what you had gone through before.
Yeah, and I mean, especially all this stuff like the podcasts and like doing these all the time. So I'm pretty new to this, right? Like, as far as I
Right.
think a lot of us are like new to this whole experience that we're doing. But I had a guy reach out to me from the States, and he's like, I want to get into public speaking. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I was just like, all right, let's do an Instagram live. Like, let's go live
Mhm.
for an hour, and I want you to tell your story. This guy had a badass story, so I was like, I want you to tell your story. So I find a lot of success speaking with and connecting with people. And for guys like you and I, Ben, where, we have this awesome community where we live, where we can really
Right.
support each other and build each other up. Like, I'm not competing with anyone. I actually reached out to another guy who's a coach in Brantford today, my age. I went to school with this guy to talk to him about someone who I love and support, but is a little close to me, about him coaching them. So,
Right.
we have like these. It's really cool to build a network where we're all kind of doing the same thing, even though we're doing different things within that experience.
Right, definitely. And what would do you have any tips for others that maybe are trying to do what you're doing, like get on Instagram and get their message out there?
Yeah. So don't get caught up in the thinking aspect of it. So everybody wants to put out that perfect video. Everybody wants to put out that, they want to put out the perfect audio. They want to put out the perfect, but as you know, because you've been going through your own process with your own
Right,
businesses, um, launch it, put it out
right,
there, and it's okay to learn as you go. And I'm still to this day, you know, I've played with, you know, the only thing I really did is I bought like a mic for my iPhone. I haven't, my video quality's gotten a little better and a little better, but I'm not going to make professional videos. It's just not my
Right.
thing. My thing is me sitting in my car, literally like after I've done my morning routine and I'm on my way to work, I'm sitting there for 5 minutes and I'm talking about something, and it's coming from the heart. It's passion. It's, you know, so I would, you know, my recommendation or my suggestion to anybody who's getting into it is make sure that you believe in what you're doing. Make sure that
Right.
whether you get 5 views or 5 million views, that it matters to you and you care about the content that you put out. Because I've put out stuff too, like I've tried to force it to get more business, and it's not good. Like when it's not
Right.
stuff that, it's not something that hits me in the heart, it's not something that has to do with where I'm at in my life at that point, it comes out as garbage. And reach out to
Yeah.
people, ask for help, look at
Right.
someone who, so if you want to get into this and you're, you know, you want to make videos or whatever and you're in recovery and it's like a recovery thing, talk to me about it.
Hmm.
You know, ask people, find people who are doing good at what you want to do and talk to them.
Yeah, totally. I find the majority of people are open. They are willing and open to share whatever knowledge that they have. I find that there's not that many people out there that are acting as like a like holding their cards close to their
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I find one of the things I find disheartening, I'm sure you get it on your social media with all the ads. So it's like everybody's looking to make that buck, right? And it's all how
Right.
to get rich quick. To really truly make an impact, whether it's with my coaching and my blogging, whether it's, you know, everything you did with the Millennial Network group and you know, everything you've done, you have to consistently put out content and you have to be patient. So
Oh, 100%.
these people that are making videos where they got Ferraris sitting in their driveway, like they've worked their ass off to get there. And now they're making money, suggesting that you can make money real quick, but only like 1% of people actually make money that quick. And those are people who are willing to do everything it takes. So if this is like a side job, if this is a hobby, something you want to do to connect with people, just trust in yourself and be patient with it.
Definitely, definitely. And in there, you mentioned your morning routine. Are you able to share like what your morning, even just like the over, like that's something that's come up recently in just my conversation is like I was asked what my morning routine was, and I don't necessarily have something that's really regimented.
So my morning routine, I wake up, I make a cup of tea,
Nice.
I sit down, and I set my intention. So what that is like I'm closing my eyes, I'm getting into a meditative state, just peace and silence, and I'm saying this is what my day is going to be today. I'm basically saying that today's going to be an amazing day, and I'm not just seeing it visually, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that it's going to be a good day. Now, not every day is a great day, right? Things don't go my
Right.
way. But when I do that, what my intention is that I will experience peace regardless of what happens today. After I do that, I have man, my you want me to tell you what I have for breakfast? I have yogurt and hemp hearts. I have diabetes, so I got to be cool with my diet. Um, and then I have a shower, and I basically, you know, I'm driven, like I get going. So depending on the day, today's Thursday, I have a coaching call at 6 a.m. on Thursdays. So I just wake up a little bit earlier and do it. Every now and then
Right.
I'll throw in a workout, and then I hop in my car. And I blare music, man. I blare music that I like. I got a sick sound system in my car, and I get
Yeah.
fired up on my way to work. Sometimes I'll listen to like motivational stuff, or sometimes I'll just listen to music that I really like. And that's usually like that gets my day going in the right direction.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what do you hope to achieve through sharing your message?
Honestly, like the very first video I made when it was, you know, when I just put that video out there, my goal was to connect with more people on broader issues than just addiction and mental health issues, because that was like what I was so involved in. So
Right.
I was already connected with a lot of people in that field. I just wanted to talk to people about life. I just wanted to talk to people about mindset. Um, I don't know even now to this day, like with my coaching, I don't have a clear goal. It's just
Hmm.
kind of like, one day at a time, show up, support others, be of service. When I talk about setting my intention in the morning, part of that is connecting with like the truth of who I am, which is love, and then getting
Hmm.
into my life and sharing that love with people. So you can walk into Tim Hortons and you order your coffee or your tea or whatever, and the person who hands it to you is just ecstatic because they're connected with that love. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or you can walk in and they're completely miserable. They hate the fact that they're there and work at Tim Hortons. So for
Right.
me, my goal every day is, can I connect with that? And when I connect with that, I connect with that in you. You know what I'm saying? So sitting
Hmm.
here and having this conversation with you is super pleasant for me. Like, I enjoy this. So
Right.
it's like just,
Oh, I'm glad.
yeah, yeah,
I do too.
yeah. Yeah, like it's fun to just talk about, life and being a better person and just being excited. I mean, I used to live a life where I woke up every day and entertained the idea of killing myself. So it's
Mm,
it's all gravy from here for me. You know what I mean? And
right.
and so to be able to do this for work and just talk to people and help people and then have a beautiful partner and two beautiful daughters, it's sweet, man. Like I always get to, it obviously has its ups and downs like anything in life, but it's a pretty sweet life for sure.
That's amazing. Ryan, what are you excited for right now? What are you excited about?
Oh man, what am I excited about? So much. I really I know this is more about my coaching and stuff, but I love what I do. I work at a place called Wayside House of Hamilton in Hamilton, Ontario. We're a men's inpatient treatment facility. I'm the program manager there. So I get to design and implement a lot of different groups. And one of my favorite things in the world is teaching groups. So being in a group with 20 men in early recovery and talking about stuff with them. So I'm really super excited about that. I'm really excited about the weather. I was out with my daughters the other night hitting the parks. I used to skateboard. And when I was a teenager, so I went out on Sunday and I bought a skateboard. So just getting,
Nice.
yeah, man, like an actual skateboard, and I can still kick flip and do all kinds of stuff. It's awesome. So hopefully I don't break anything, but yeah, I'm really excited about that. Continuing to work with my clients one on one, my coaching clients on the side, and then just speaking gigs and podcasts and all this kind of stuff. That would be the other thing I'd recommend to anyone getting into it is like say yes to everything,
Mhm.
even stuff that I did everything for free or at first, like everything I did for free, right? So
Right.
even like donation based stuff or man, what do you call that? I can't even think of the word. Charity stuff, charity
Like
talks.
donations?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So charitable events that I was offered to get paid at, I turned it down. I said, take the money you'd pay me and put it into the charity, right?
Right.
Build that good karma. So I mean, right now, today, I can see my schedule clearly for the next week, but I could wake up tomorrow morning and there could be three more things to add on there. And so I think that's what I really enjoy about like this entrepreneurial side of things is like it's very, very exciting. And,
Mhm.
I don't have any like major events or anything coming up, but just life, man. I'm excited about life.
That's amazing, Ryan. Thank you. I just appreciate you coming on and sharing your message and chatting with me about your journey and your experiences. This has just been great. So thank you very much.
No worries, buddy. It's been a pleasure. This is like the fourth or fifth thing we've done together, so it's been cool to kind of walk along it together.
Yeah, you know what? We would have started pretty much the same time. So
Yeah,
that's really cool.
yeah,
That's
man.
really cool.
It's awesome
Awesome.
all the new stuff you're doing. Keep doing it, eh?
Yeah, thank you. Will do. Episode number 6, Just Ask Podcast. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Awesome. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, bro. Have a good night, eh?
You too. Thank you.